None. So students are left at the mercy of unqualified teachers who do buga teaching, and at the end of the day, they come out of the JHS with aggregate 49. Do we blame the government or the students or teachers? The government should be blamed, although the rural folks have their chunk of the blame. Secondary education. As I speak now, I know of over 100 students who did not get placements during their placement time. Then they were waiting for second placement. At the end of the day, they were replaced. But the schools that they were placed claim that those schools have been overstaffed with what? Students. So where do you want them to go? In the first place, who placed these students there? And with what criteria did you do that? Please, ladies and gentlemen, politics can be done, but not with education. What even pains is that Ghana is now involved in politics and not politics. I want to say something to gain political power, as being done by a certain section of the parties here, promising heaven when they have not even gotten to the planet Mercury. Promising free everything when even throwing rubbish is not free in Ghana. Do we really understand the word free? Please, let's look for a better word for the free we've been promising. For we'll be held responsible by the word itself before prosperity. SHS will not be free under the government of United Front Party. But it will be accessible, qualitative, and very moderate for every parent who has already found employment under the employment plan of United Front Party to pay the moderate fees that will be charged. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, time will not allow us, but change is what we need. We say God changes, but we have to change before God intervenes. The only change here, the symbolic change here, is United Front Party. The golden key that unlocks the hardship and open the way to prosperous Ghana. The golden key that opens the way to economic liberation and emancipation of our dear nation, Ghana. Who says no other party will form government after 2013 apart from NDC MPP. Please revise your notes, for we are prepared to form a United Front Party right after December 7th and invite all the corrupt past government members to join us, develop our nation, Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, all the 6 political parties present have done well. They need recommendation. It's now time for questions and answers. You come forward here. You mention your name. You ask only 2 questions.
I'm Sam Kujo from the NPP. My first question goes to the UFP man. To be honest with you, he has spoken a lot, but the UFP did not tell us any clear policy about their education. He just lambasted others and took some of what people have written. What is in the manifesto of the UFP about education? That is the first one. Secondly, are the 10 colleges of education panacea to the shortage of teachers in the country? This goes to the NDC. Because I know that at least there are colleges of education in every region. Secondly, we also know that intake has gone down in most of these colleges of education. So is it a panacea to shortages of teachers? Thank you.
Thank you, my uncle and my father. I think if we were really here, I made mention of the UFP stance on education as not promising free basic compulsory education. Education is a right and not a privilege. But before the right to education will be fully enforced, then the facilities should be available. That is why I made mention that we are not promising free now, but we shall do that when we realize we have laid a fertile ground for the free to be implemented. That was what I said. I think that is our policy on basic education. Then for senior high, we also said that, although I did not mention, it will remain 3 years. Facilities, that is classroom and boarding facilities, will be expanded in every boarding school, especially in the rural areas, so that our students can remain where they are to attend a quality, accessible senior high school. And at the end of the day, when they form the working force and they are posted back there, they will not have difficulty in being there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. My friend and senior colleague, Mr. Kujo, asked if the establishment of 10 teacher training colleges would be a panacea for the shortage that we have with teachers. Is that the question? If you are looking for the source of funding, Get Fund is there. That is what we have been using all along to provide for infrastructure at the secondary, tertiary, and the basic school level. So that is what we are going to draw our funding from. But the difficulty, we have not said that Nana Akufo-Addo cannot implement that school. But the difficulty we have is that you have come with your policy, and you have come with your figures. And when we do the figures, we do a calculation of the figures realistically with the average school fees as it pertains now. School fees at the secondary level ranges from 290 to 490. So even if you decide to average this at 300, currently we have 721 school going students in secondary schools. If you are going to add up, there are about 96% students who are coming out of the 350,000 students that wrote the BEC, which means that you are going to have about 315,000 and over going to add up to the 791 that are already there. Even if I do that arithmetic, 315,000 times 721, you get over 1,035,000. Now, if you are going to be timesing that with the average fee that I've pegged at 300 Ghana cedis, and you even reduce that figure to 920. 920 students, 920 figures times 300 will give you 27.6 billion. That times 3 times will give you 82.8 billion. Nana Akufo-Addo estimates to spend 78 million Ghana cedis on their first academic year, and that is what we have a difficulty. So if they are showing the source, they must come with realistic figures. That is our contention. No, but according to his source, I can give you Doc, I can give you a document from Nana Akufo-Addo at the IE. I can give you his speech. And it's academic year. So how then do you come and tell me it is one term? Who is the authority? Is it the flag bearer or his representative here? So that is our difficulty. We must have clarity with the figures. Even if it is one term in the academic year, how much are you going to spend it? On what figure? I mean, things are not clear, but they are coming out with their figures. And we do not contend that. What we are saying is that our concern is we must provide answers. And Ghanaians are taking a cue and they'll decide on that.
Just to add to my colleagues, you know, the questionnaire doubting 2009, 2010, 2011, you know, it's just like a farming. Whatever you planted, it will not just come that particular year or that. Education, you start formally, they say 4 years. Whatever started 4 years, after 4 years that you know the you cannot get the results at the same year or the second year, third year. So if he is questioning about 2011, 2010, why the results are not good, they should go back and ask the time they were there. The time MPP was there. Whatever they've planted, that is the results. But fortunately or to my this you could not change 2012 results. So in the clear term, what NDC is doing now, by all means 2014-15, we shall also know the results. So the result that he is talking about or is challenging now here is what they have done at the time MPP is in power. Thank you.
Okay, this program is being streamed live on the internet at www.graphic.com, GH, and aquabalivetv.com. So the question should be straightforward for us. Thank you very much.
Hello, thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm Idi Mohayuddin, TESCOM Communications Director of the University of Education, Winneba Kumasi Campus. I've got 2 questions. The first one goes to the PNC representative. Prior to the IEA presidential debate, we were all made to believe by their communicators that the PNC was for free education. At least judging by their last manifesto, the 2008 manifesto, which they used for the elections. Unfortunately, or if you like, however, during the IEA debate, their presidential candidate more or less poo-pooed this laudable idea, which was championed by Nanado. So we've been confused really all this while. Ghanaians don't know the stance of the PNC as far as free SHS is concerned. Is it that are they for free SHS as their communicators are making us to believe, or they are against free SHS as their flag bearer made us to believe at the IEA presidential debate? That is my first question to the PNC. Now to the NDC, just so that we are fair to the facts. Yes, it is true that it's been announced that the last BC pass rate was somewhere 94%. But what he has failed, the NDC representative has failed to tell us is that they have reviewed the marking scheme in view of the gross failure that have been recorded for the past 3 years. GES and WAEC sat down to review the marking scheme. That was what accounted for the so-called 94%. The 94%, they have reviewed the marking scheme, how they... Yeah, so that is it. Now let me ask my question. I think you should be fair to the fact. Now my question is that he has also acknowledged that it is a constitutional provision that education should be progressively free. And it's true. When you go to the 1992 Constitution, we are told that free SHS should come to effect 10 years after the implementation of the Constitution. Now I ask the NDC, they have been in power from 92 to 2002. If they are there to actually respect the Constitution, which they have sworn to protect, how come that for the 8 years, from 92 to 2000, that they have been in power, they never made any attempt at implementing the free education? It was the